All right, let's go ahead and open up the door. Thank you so much, everybody, for your patience and waiting as we were getting everything lined up and everything just the way it's supposed to be, right, Doc?
Looking good.
Okay, fantastic. Everybody, you are plugging into Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, I am deeply honored to be able to take something that has changed my life and share it with the world, to the point where I believe in this message so much, I became the Director of Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health that teaches about the 4 areas of health, how they're affected by nutritional deficiencies, and then using the formulas of the man that we host on this program as solutions to being able to go in and give the body what it needs so that the body can perform as it would decide to perform. So folks, thank you for joining us. Thank you for investing this time. Yes, investing this time into you. So whether you're watching for yourself or you're watching for somebody else, be a sponge, absorb the information that you are going to be hearing today so that as time allows or is needed, you have this information that you can just squeeze out and trickle out upon other people. And as that trickle is going through those that you know, through your community, it's reaching the world and allowing people to know that there are alternatives out there that may not be heard anywhere else, or heard, if they are heard, it's fractionated. So we look at the body as a whole, and with that looking at the body as a whole, the body needs a foundation of nutrients, not just one of this, one of that, but a foundation. And without that foundation, then you can have imbalances if you get too much of this or too much of that, or not even having the cofactors that the body needs to be able to assimilate one thing or another. And that's the nice thing that I love about this program that we share on Daily with Doc, is that the formulations work synergistically together with those cofactors in a form that the body can actually absorb. So I've seen that through the longevity supplementation, we have upwards of 90% absorption, where at your corner store, you're looking between 6 and 28% absorption. That's a big difference, folks. So listen up and know that we are confident in what you are going to be hearing today as being truth and impactful in the lives. And most importantly, it's something you can do on your own without needing somebody else's permission to do so. But the FDA does require us to let you know that the content of this program is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor are our products meant to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases. But folks, you give your body what it needs, it can do some amazing things. And the doctor that we have on with us has been very successful in suing the FDA 8 times to get essential vital nutrients put into things like baby formula. You're going to be hearing more about that in just a few minutes. And as the doctor's getting prepared, because I know he's got a great message he's going to be bringing to us. And the little bits that I've heard so far, it was exactly where I was in many different areas of life. If you were invited to this program by somebody specific, we want to make sure that you get back with them. This program is a resource for a very amazing community, and we want to make sure that that community is, in fact, intact. You can't hear me, Dr. Wallach? Am I muted? Uh-oh.
You are not muted.
Okay, Dr. Wallach cannot hear.
Can
you hear me now?
I can hear somebody now.
Okay, Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you right now. You were off there for about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Now you're, okay, you have to speak up.
Well, I can't scream.
No.
You'll hear me next door. So, okay. So, Dr. Wallach, I know you have a lot of information to share. So, I want to make sure that everybody knows that the replays of our programs are available at dailywithdoc.com. And we also have the good foods, bad foods list there. So you're going to hear Dr. Wallach mention all these good foods, bad foods list. You will be able to see it in print on Daily with Doc. If you are out on YouTube or Rumble or Facebook and you would like to join us here live in our Zoom at this time, Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50 p.m., you are welcome to do so by visiting dailywithdoc.zoom.com. So without further ado, Dr. Wallach, he has a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. He's a doctor of veterinary medicine. He has 3 postdoctorates in pathology. And then he decided to become a naturopathic physician, taking all of this information that he'd done for decades because it had a statistically, everything he did in the animal world, it crossed over to the human world, especially with the mammals.
No sound.
I hear
No
you just
sound.
fine.
No sound.
I'm going to fix you in
No
just a minute,
sound.
Dr. Wallach.
No sound.
Everybody, we will be right here with you. Dr. Wallach, take it away.
Just sit here.
Go ahead,
Can you hear us now,
Can you
Dr.
hear-
Wallach?
I can hear somebody now.
Okay, so go ahead. You can start talking because we could hear you the whole time. So please.
Okay, I just couldn't hear
Dr.
Becca.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. I want to talk about 2 interesting groups of diseases, both of which have multiple manifestations. People are familiar with arthritis, and you can have arthritis in your neck. You can have arthritis in your shoulders, your elbows, your fingers, your wrists. You can have arthritis in your hips, your knees, your ankles, your toes. But it's all caused by the same thing. Treatment is different. Doctors want to do double knee replacement surgically. They want to do double hip replacement surgically. They might even do replacement of the cartilage in your shoulder kind of thing. Okay. It's one of those things where who knows what they're going to do. Okay. But when you have arthritis, the last thing they're going to talk to you about is nutrition. Arthritis is a simple nutritional deficiency disease. We came up with Theo Ratliff, a great basketball player, 24 years of age. He lost a $35 million contract because he had bone-to-bone arthritis in both knees. He had arthritis in his hips. He had a fracture in his right wrist, his shooting arm. They took a $35 million contract away. So we built the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack for him, which is our Healthy Start Pack. We had to create our first version of collagen, our glucogel, which we added to it, and that became the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, gave it to Theo, and we rebuilt his cartilage, his bones, and his osteoporosis and arthritis. He came back and he played for 11 more years and made $100 million. Now, he's one of our biggest proponents of our products. He's the guy we also made the Rebound for. Okay, so we have a history of being able to solve those problems. Now, the same thing is true whether it's knee arthritis, hip arthritis, shoulder arthritis, neck arthritis, ankle arthritis, is still the same stuff. I want to talk about another disease group. And again, it's just sort of dumb luck in some cases, which one in the group is more manifested than the others, but they're all the same disease. In some cases, it's due to, for instance, when we have a big, heavy truck driver, And they tend to get arthritis in the hip and the knee, on the ankle, on the right side first. Why is that? Well, because they're dealing with the clutch and the gas pedal and the brakes and all that kind of stuff, and stepping up into the cab of the truck. Okay, so that's why it's the right legs first on the truck driver. It's not a genetic thing. It's just because they're putting more pressure on that one set of joints on the right side. Now, the same thing is true for a group of neurological diseases. They're all caused by the same deficiency. Again, it's a deficiency disease. They're all caused by the same deficiency. In some cases, it's just dumb luck, which tissue in the nervous system is being dealt with, okay, by this deficiency. In some cases, what you're doing, okay, physically and biochemically can affect a specific area. And let's talk about Alzheimer's disease, which we spend each year in America $345 billion a year just to treat the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. MS, multiple sclerosis, and Guillain-Barré syndrome is caused by deficiency of the same tissue, just different location, okay, than Alzheimer's disease. That's $85 billion a year we're spending there. Parkinson's disease, the symptoms of tremors and all that kind of stuff. I believe it's a very simple nutritional deficiency disease. And it usually appears when people in their 35 to 50 to 60, and life expectancy is 7 to 12 years, okay? And the $52 billion there, okay? FTD, frontotemporal dementia, that's a new one, okay? It's the same tissue as the Alzheimer's disease, but it's a different location, okay, in the brain. And that's $7.28 billion a year to treat that one, FTD, frontotemporal dementia. Then ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, where, this great baseball player for the New York Yankees, he and Babe Ruth are the ideal baseball players. And it's like 1.2 billion we spend on Alzheimer's or Lou Gehrig disease, okay? Lou Gehrig disease. All right, Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, that's not Alzheimer's, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease is 1.2 billion. Alzheimer's disease is 345 billion. MS, Guillain-Barré syndrome is 85 billion. Parkinson's disease is 52 billion. FTD is 7.28 billion. And ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, is 1.02 billion, for a total of 490 billion, 490.30 billion we spend each year just to treat the symptoms of these neurological diseases, which are all nutritional diseases. And we've been working with these athletes. We've been working with people, in the age groups where they're getting these things, and we're able to do some wondrous things. Now, right now, we're working on Parkinson's disease, and we were just sad on one side, but kind of excited on the other side. Just a couple of days ago, they announced in Canada they had diagnosed a 2-year-old boy with Parkinson's disease, usually a disease of middle and upper age. And so, I have other theories and so forth on that because of, personal involvement. But, 490 billion, okay, is way too much money to spend on a simple nutritional deficiencies. Well, what about rheumatoid arthritis, Wallach? Well, rheumatoid arthritis is a combination of the nutritional deficiency arthritis, and it has a secondary infection with a bug called mycoplasma. And mycoplasma is killable with an antibiotic called minocycline, like a little bait fish, minocycline. Say a 2-month treatment with minocycline will kill the bug, mycoplasma. And you're taking all that time and forever, the healthy bone and joint pack, and rheumatoid arthritis goes away in weeks and months. And as long as you stay on the program, it'll never come back. Okay, so these are the things we do. We have a lot of experience with these things, and it includes people with memory issues. I deal a lot with military personnel. I deal a lot with athletes and so forth. And so I see just about everything you can think of. And I can't reveal anything to you just yet, other than this release. This was on Fox News, so I'm not saying anything that hasn't been presented to the public. It was on Fox News 2-3 days ago that they had diagnosed a 2-year-old boy in Canada with Parkinson's disease. Okay. And so, I was seeing that, but I couldn't say it because, you know, hospitals, it wasn't in the textbooks and this, that, and the other. Okay, so here we go. So what I want you to do is remember, get a hair analysis, get that book, Rare Earths, chapter 10 and 11. Go to page 272. It tells you how to collect the hair, how to package it, where to ship it. Don't forget to put in the check. If you're living in a country other than the United States, do use a money order, then it'll go through faster. And these things are easily reversed, okay? And so it's one of those things where these diseases have been around a long time. They go back to the biblical days, and they knew that there was evil spirits that caused the diseases. And then, you know, later on down the line, they learned about bugs, viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast, and so forth. But they don't cause all these problems. They're nutritional problems, okay? And so we have the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. We have the, let's see here, the Rebound or Sport Shrink, which actually supports joint and bone health also, and osteoporosis. We can rebuild osteoporosis, okay? And of course, the medication doesn't rebuild anything. It tends to relieve inflammation. It tends to, in some cases, give you some more time walking on your bones without fractures and stuff like that. But ultimately, if you don't take the nutrition to repair the joints, the cartilage, the bones themselves, what the bones require to do that, you will not do well. Same thing is true with the neurological system, the brain. When you look at the book, it's all in your head, and we're going to be adding a segment to that on all these soft tissue diseases that's in your skull, not in the skull itself, but in the skull cavity, okay, in the brain cavity. And so it's very obvious what's going on here once you really look into it. And so we do have the book and the CD set. It's all in your head. It's a combination of myself and Dr. Milan and Rebecca have put the information in here. And it's one of those things where this information is unimpeachable. We've been doing this for like 3 years now, okay? And the reason why I decided to come out with that book on these 37 different diseases that are caused by osteoporosis of the skull, and obviously now these other nutritional deficiencies, since we've looked deeper into it, there's a combination, all right? And so it's very obvious we need to come up with books because doctors were not getting this training in school. There you go. Doctors are not getting this training in school, and people were not being told. They're just sent to a specialist. Oh, you got ringing in the ears. We're going to send you to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. He's going to give you a hearing aid. Well, that doesn't solve the problem of osteoporosis of the skull. And in a couple of months or a year or so, it'll get worse and worse and worse. It'll just go deaf. Okay, because those nerves are being squeezed by the skull when you have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, and it's page 6. There you go. The bottom one is osteoporosis of the skull. It's 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. And the top picture, it's a normal skull. It's 1/4 inch thick. These are both at autopsy. The top of the skull has been removed. You're looking down on the brain. And these are the sort of things. I've done 32,000 autopsies. I've looked at thousands and thousands of brains and skulls and vertebrae and hips and knees and shoulders and toes and all this kind of stuff. And you put things together when you see that much evidence that a doctor who gets training in school and in a textbook that says arthritis and osteoporosis is due to aging. No, not even close. So again, with that said, we do have the programs for this, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. I like that. It's a little bigger hammer than the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, but if finances are an issue, go with the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Go with the, let's see here, Rebound. You want to also go with the I-26, okay, for all the neurological diseases. Add the I-26 and let's see here, and the Synaptive. And these things all go away, okay? You give the body what it needs and it will repair itself. The good Lord gave us the capacity to do that. And so when you look at the Old Testament, there's 21 stories. That fascinated me when I started really looking into the land flowing with milk and honey. Why did Adam live to be 930? Why did Noah live to be 950? Why did Methuselah live to be 969? They lived in the land flowing with milk and honey. And when you look at the land flowing with milk and honey, it was actually the streams coming down from the mountains that looked white like milk. And it wasn't cow's milk or goat's milk or camel milk or llama milk. It was glacial milk. Chapter 10 of the book, Rare Earths, goes into glacial milk. And this is why bottomland was so useful. Bottomland was another name, okay, for the land flowing with milk and honey, bottomland, because the glaciers are cutting the mountain up top, and then all this silt from the minerals being ground up at the top of the mountain coming down. It looked like milk, but it was bottomland. Well, once they put dams up to make hydroelectric, they cut off the mineral supply to the fields, and there was no longer any bottomland left. That's why suddenly we have all these diseases that nobody knows what they are, because they're just simple nutritional deficiency diseases, which used to be prevented and reversed because we're using our wood ashes and coal ashes into our gardens and into our foods. And we were getting our minerals that way. Well, once we went to electricity, no more minerals. And so that's why we have all these issues. This is very simple stuff. And again, I've got things, we've got things in the works here. I can't mention them yet, but when we pull the trigger on them, I'll tell you. And when we get the results, I'll tell you. And it's going to blow, just like we have put, what should I say? I would like to be a professor and do Zooms at like 10 medical schools at the same time, okay, or something like that, and teach them about these things. We deal with over 600 different diseases that we're able to prevent and reverse with nutrition. This is not difficult, but they don't get taught this. They just say, oh, just tell your patients to eat well to get everything you need. Well, it was closer back in the days of the Bible and prior to electricity, because if people were using wood ashes and coal ashes in their gardens and in their food, okay. But once we went to electricity, we shut off our supply of minerals, and minerals make up 2/3 of the 90 essential nutrients. 60 of the 90 essential nutrients are minerals. And you can't get them from your food because plants only need 3 NPK, and farmers aren't going to put in 90 to 100 nutrients if they can get just as great a yield with a much cheaper fertilizer with only 3 nutrients in it. So that's the reason why they go that way. And in their animals, they give their animals food that's super saturated, super supplemented with vitamins and minerals. That's why you don't have to have health insurance for cows and goats and pigs and chickens and camels and zoo animals, because I was one of the guys that got all that started with Marlon Perkins, the Mutual Omaha Kingdom show, and so forth. I mean, I have stuff that's published in the International Zoo Yearbooks, and we got rid of liver cancer in bears because I figured out what was causing liver cancer. And every bear species in every zoo in the world, and no other animals in the zoos are getting liver cancer, only the bears. I figured that out and got it published. And they changed things in the zoos, and suddenly now all the liver cancer in the bears went away. Okay, these are the sort of things you can do when you do large numbers. Okay, and so with that, I'm going to turn this back over to Becca.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, folks, just thank you so much for joining us today. Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for all that information that you shared, especially with arthritis. Now, one thing you didn't share, which leads right into my first question that I have here that is coming to us through email, is coming from Brad. And Brad says, I have severe arthritis in my left knee and I'm in major pain. I'm also type 2 diabetic. Now, Dr. Wallach, with Brad at 54 years old and 192 pounds, 5'9", what would you recommend for Brad using the formulas that you have been using for decades now to help him?
Well, Brad needs to get rid of all the bad foods. He needs to get my book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. Okay. And that will help him immensely. I don't have the time to go into 300 pages of good food, bad foods, and all the good recipes and everything like that. Just get the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. Then he needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried food. There you go. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin. It's still gluten. No buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but buckwheat has phago, F-A-G-O, pyrines, which are 10 times worse than gluten. Kills your intestines, so you lose 90% of your absorptive surface. No sugar, no carbonated drinks, including diet drinks, and also carbonated water, because carbonation neutralizes stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals and digest food. God gave us stomach acid so we could absorb minerals and digest food. So you can't dilute it and neutralize it with carbonation and expect to do well. Then at his body weight, I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. Full dose, everything twice a day. There's 215 nutrients in each dose, but he's going to, the core is still the 90. Then he needs, for his diabetes, I want him to get 2 bottles a month of the sweeties. So he can take 3 of those twice a day. Okay. And if he's on medication for his diabetes, don't cold turkey off of it. But as the numbers begin to drop, he can slowly reduce the medication. It'll take 2 to 6 weeks and he'll be an ex-diabetic. How long does he have to stay on the sweeties? Forever. How long do you need oxygen? Forever. And then, or did you say he had high blood pressure also? Or
No, he didn't say anything about blood pressure,
arthritis and-
just arthritis and type 2 diabetes.
Okay, well, diabetes is easy to get rid of. Type 2 diabetes, it makes up 98.8% of the diabetic population, easy to get rid of. I would say give me 90 days, usually in 2 to 6 weeks, you're an ex-diabetic anymore. But again, don't cold turkey off your medication, but as the blood sugar levels drop, go ahead and slowly reduce medication based on the numbers. And then, let's see here. Again, for that arthritis, right?
Yes.
Okay, we want him to have the MSM added. I want him to have 2 bottles of our MSM a month. So he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. I do that. I weigh 142 pounds and I do that. And it helps rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, including the hips and the knees and the ankles and toes and all this kind of stuff. We also want him to have our collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that with a morning drink, scoop of the evening drink. Okay, and that'll work there to rebuild the cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue. Believe me, if he has all, I'd like to know, is he a big rig truck driver? Why does he only have this arthritis in his knees or his right side? Okay, that's a classic truck driver thing. Okay, or that's where he steps up on a big ladder or something with that right leg all the time. There's something he's doing with that right leg that's making it show up first in the right leg. But this is easily reversed, and this is kind of like the red warning light in your car dashboard. So let's get this dealt with, and then the others won't manifest themselves. Okay, but he's got to stay on this program forever. And if he has pain, we have the CM cream he can apply to his pain area and his hips, his knees, and ankles, wherever he's got pain. I would like to ask him, if he has rain in his ears, is there any balance problems? Does he have any of this stuff that's going on in his leg? Is it going on in the skull? And so on. It's very common. It's in every bone in the body. Okay. And so at any rate, I would also have him throw in the I-26 just because of his age. Okay, I-26 because we want him to have a healthy brain and spinal cord and all the nerves going down into his legs and stuff like that as well. Okay, so the I-26, his body weight.
I-26.
I-26
is good for everybody, Doc.
I know.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it
if you're
really
alive and
helps.
breathing, if you're alive and breathing, you need I-26.
Well, it definitely helps with that gut-brain connection. It helps with getting rid of the bad pathogens without killing the good bacteria that's in the digestive system. So there's a lot of bonuses beyond cholesterol.
Also, it
Dr.
helps
Wallach,
rebuild
the good cholesterol.
Also, it helps rebuild the structure of this central nervous system, the brain, the spinal cord, and all these nerves. Okay, this helps. This has the raw materials in it, the I-26, to rebuild that structure. 25% of your brain weight is this structure. 25% of your spinal cord weight is this structure. It's called myelin. It's the white matter of the brain. Everybody knows about why. You've heard old people that get demyelinization. They have all these issues going on because they have demyelinating in their brain. And doctors just say, well, you're old, you got to expect that, blah, blah, blah. We can give you a little bit of stuff. Here's a walker and all these kind of things. No, you take our program, we can rebuild that myelin. We come back from almost 0 myelin.
Wait. We can't, but the body can.
Well, yeah,
when
the body
given
does.
the right ingredients.
Oh, I throw us in with the body. I'm including the body when I say we.
Dr. Wallach, I have to keep you compliant, and the body can do some amazing things, folks. Our products do not.
Well, the products are raw materials that your body does just work with.
The body, that's right. The body needs those raw ingredients, raw materials to be able to do what it was designed to do. So, well, let's go to the next person, because I think you covered arthritis pretty well today, Dr. Wallach, which is something that I
Good.
dealt with even when I was a child. So let's go to Phyllis, who has her hand up. And just as a reminder, everybody, make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you and say thank you. Thank you for taking the time, caring enough to allow me to absorb some information that I can do on my own to help myself or somebody I love. So Phyllis, welcome to Daily with Doc, my dear.
Thank you so much. Hi, Dr. Wallach.
Hi.
I've got a question from Amanda, emailed in. We do not know her age, height, or weight, but her symptoms are extreme fatigue, infertility. Her DHEA level is 65. She has a high resting glucose level, and her serum copper is low. She says she's
I missed one thing there towards the beginning. She had okay, I got the fatigue, and then what came after that?
Infertility.
Yeah, and then what came after that?
Her DHEA level is 65. She also has a high resting glucose level. Her serum copper is low.
Do we know if she has white, gray, or silver hair?
We don't know that.
Okay.
And she says she has many other symptoms. And she has the onset of an egg allergy coming on.
What does she weigh?
That we don't know. So let's take it by 100-pound body weight per 100 pounds.
Okay, 100 pounds body weight. She got to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, brown, rye oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, no buckwheat. And again, the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Out the Bad Foods, it's all in your head. That book, those two books. Then I want her to get per 100 pounds of body weight. I want her to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month. One healthy brain and heart pack per month. A half a dose of everything twice a day. If she weighs 135 pounds or more, I'd have her take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. That'll be a full dose twice a day. I want her to, at 100 pounds, I want her to get 1 bottle a month of the MSM. So you can take 3 of those twice a day. It's going to help her rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes her bone itself. Okay. Then I want her to take our Xerafem. She could take, I'd have her take 3 of those twice a day. Okay. And I want her also to take our I-26. I'd have her take 3 a day minimum. Okay. 3 doses. I like the chewables. It comes in 2 different flavors. I like the chewables. They're soft chewies. They're not crunchy chewies. But we do have the powder and the capsules. Okay. Of the I-26. And then let's see here, for her sugar issues, I want her to have, even though she's only, let's say for 100 pounds, I want her to have 2 bottles a month of the sweeties, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And if she's on medication, don't cold turkey off of it, but as things balance out and the blood sugar is beginning to drop into the normal range or go to the normal range, then she can slowly reduce her medication. But how long do you need the sweeties? Forever. Well, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack has copper in it and all kinds of stuff. As we have various things that are in there. There's copper by itself, and there's copper mixed with other nutrients in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, which helps the arteries, which helps the skin, which helps the muscles and stuff like that in the walls of the digestive system. And so also copper deficiency causes loss of hair color. It's not an aging thing. You can get a 12-year-old with white hair. Okay, you know they're having problem absorbing nutrients because they can't absorb copper. Okay, and these are people you want to immediately start rubbing the liquid plant-derived minerals on them. 1/3 of a cup at breakfast, lunch, and dinner time. All on the sternum, upper belly, lower belly, also on the back between the shoulder blades, the upper back, lower back. That's the plant-derived colloidal minerals. We did that for Pastor Mike Freeman in a coma for six weeks. The doctors pulled the plugs on him, said he's gonzo in a couple of hours or a week, or not a week, within a couple of hours or a day or two. So we just had one of our great distributors up in Baltimore, Maryland, Linda Tyler, and Pastor Mike's wife, Linda, was a member of his church. So they rubbed the minerals on him as I prescribed, because he didn't have a G tube or an IV. rub the minerals on him. 3 days later, he wakes up, shaves, goes back to his church, and he records what happened. And we made a nice DVD out of it. Okay, it's called Praise the Lord and Pass the 90. If you've ever been hanging around military people, you know what that means. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Okay, praise the Lord and pass the 90. You want to be on God's side, you want God on your side, but you still want to do your part. If somebody's shooting at you, you want to be able to shoot back at them. So if you have a health problem, there's nothing wrong with praying and asking for God's help. We got to do our part too. Okay.
Doc, if she has an egg allergy, do you think the I-26 will be compatible with her?
Well, I want to know about this egg allergy. Okay. Because there's chicken eggs, there's duck eggs, there's goose eggs, there's guinea eggs. Okay. There's all kinds of eggs. If you're allergic to one, you're not allergic to all the rest of them. Okay. They all have different proteins. Okay. Just like you could be allergic to one type of beans, but not allergic to all beans. Got it?
So she might be able to eat other forms of egg, including the I-26.
That's correct.
That's
Okay,
great.
so
Thank
keep
you,
us
Becca.
informed. Okay,
Doc.
keep us informed.
Sure will.
All right. Thank you, Phyllis, very, very much. And Doc, I just have some comments here in the chat. Jenny wants to say, Dr. Wallach, you are awesome. Thank you
Oh,
for all your hard
thank you.
work. She actually said you're great. I was looking for the right word, but we also have a question here, and this is coming off of YouTube. And Dr. Wallach, I'm going to read it. This is Joe's writing in or asking a question about somebody who has had a heart stent. And it was, they want to know if the heart stent should be removed once the plaque from cirrhosis are reversed by the nutritional program, or should the stent be left in place? Now, I have kind of a little bit of insight on this one, Dr. Wallach, since I worked in the industry. The procedure is non-invasive to put it in. Taking it out is a whole nother story. So what would your recommendation be, Dr. Wallach? Because I know that the body, it starts building around, starts creating scar tissue to hold it in place because it's a foreign body, to protect it. Well, I wouldn't recommend taking it out. Just let it stay. What are your thoughts, though?
Okay, well, I would do an MRI and find out if the inside diameter of that stent is still the way it's supposed to be. Okay, if it's supposed to be 1 millimeter in diameter, or is it supposed to be 2 millimeters in diameter? What's the diameter of the stent? If the diameter is still open, if the stent is still patent, in other words, you still get blood flow. So I would just leave it there. I wouldn't do any risk of surgery, heart surgery. Okay, okay, I wouldn't do any risk of doing that. I would just leave the stent in there. It's kind of like you have a bullet in your vertebrae in your back. Are you going to take do an operation to take the bullet out? No, I'd leave the bullet there. If it's in the vertebrae, yeah. If it's in the vertebrae, it's not, it's not damaging the spinal cord. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so it's one of those things where you have to make a judgment based on, well, is this thing interfering? Just to remove it. I mean, is that just another $1,300 for the doctor? I mean, what do we have to remove it for?
Well, and another thing too, when considering an MRI, make sure that they verify the material that the stent is made out of before doing an MRI. Mm-hmm. Because it is metal. We just want to make sure that it's not magnetic when you're doing an MRI. So he's had this stent placed because of plaque in the artery from sclerosis. What would you recommend for him or anybody that's looking at having blockages within the arteries? Because it's not from cholesterol, from listening to you. Is that correct?
It's not cholesterol. Doctors made a big mistake over 100 years ago when they said blocked arteries are caused by cholesterol. No. Cholesterol has nothing to do with blocked arteries. It's oxidized fats. Okay, like old salad dressing sitting in your refrigerator for 2 months, kind of thing, or you left it on the table every night. The salad dressings. Okay, can't do that at room temperature. They oxidize and turn into trans fats. That's what causes plaque in your arteries, not cholesterol. Cholesterol makes up 25% of your brain weight. The myelin, the white matter of the brain, is 100% cholesterol. Myelin, 25% of your brain weight, is 100% cholesterol. You want to stop taking cholesterol, your brain goes away. Oh, that means you're going to get Alzheimer's disease, you get MS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, you get Parkinson's disease, FTD, ALS. Those are all cholesterol deficiency diseases. Hello.
It's common sense once you hear the information correctly. But whenever you're just dependent on what the doctor says, who has very little nutritional education.
And he has a very, very, which they say, high level of interest in making sure that everything gets paid properly.
Well, you would think, and I'm sure many are and have taken a look at what their patients are taking, what's happening each time that they're coming back, and then finally looking at that insert that comes with those prescriptions that they are prescribing for the side effects. I know yesterday I looked at 4 different prescriptions that people were being prescribed, and all I have to do is say, read it. You know, what do you have going on? It's something you don't want to take. Are you taking it? What are the symptoms that you're having now? And if you're having some of those symptoms that it says, consult your doctor if any of these occur, please consult your doctor. Don't just live with it or think because they prescribed it that that's what's best for you. As I know, Dr. Wallach, I was not chemical deficient. That's for sure. And I was getting sicker and sicker. But I got the Nutrition On program and I stopped getting sicker and sicker, and now I feel better than ever. So, you know, the whole cause and effect. Lots of good stuff, Dr. Wallach.
Can't thank you enough for sharing your personal story.
Well, I'm thankful that I am able to share my personal story, Dr. Wallach, and do it in a way that provides hope to others, that there are options out there, that they don't have to be stuck in pain, which is where I thought I was. And I wasn't looking forward to turning 50. Now I'm 52 and I'm loving it.
You're a mere child.
I'm just a mere child. That's right. I've got many years to go. And many people here with us today. So thank you once again, everybody, for joining us, whether you're here live in the Zoom room or out in the internet land with Rumble or YouTube or Facebook. Make sure that you like us on those platforms. Critical Health News Channel is what you will find us as in Rumble and also YouTube. And then on Facebook, we are just Critical Health. So make sure you follow us, please. And subscribe to our newsletter. You can go to dailywithdoc.com and you will find the option to subscribe to our newsletter and also submit questions with that subscription. If you've already subscribed and you have additional questions, you can always use that contact option from the menu and we will get your questions either up in front of Doc here on the show, or if it's something that we don't get to, I always ask Dr. Wallach questions. And then I have a team of certified holistic health coaches that is ready and waiting to assist you in making sure that you get the information you need based on Dr. Wallach's programs and recommendations. So this service by my certified holistic health coaches is available to those who are not currently working with somebody and who have not placed an order through Longevity. So we want to make sure that the person that has been helping you continues to help you. They're the one who Longevity is sending a thank you check for making sure that you're getting the information, the products that you need. So again, for those who have not placed an order, you can go to dailywithdoc.com, or you can also call our call team at 855-949-3377. And I've got people sending me messages saying, I'm doing a great job, thanks. that's a distraction. But Dr. Wallach,
Yes.
So Nomad, and that's just the name that they use when they're sending emails, said that they heard you on Coast to Coast, and they've also heard pharmacist Ben speak several times over the last several years. And they heard you mention that oats and oatmeal are not healthy to eat. So share with us a little bit about oats and why they're not healthy to eat. And then we're going to go over to AJ with our final question, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, well, briefly, oats are part of the gluten monster. Wheat, barley, rye, oats, and the gluten in oats is called gliadin. It's still gluten. It destroys the villi in your intestines, those finger-like projections in your intestines that increase the absorptive surface, help you absorb more nutrition. And when you eat gluten, whether it's oatmeal for breakfast or oatmeal pancakes, that sort of stuff, or Cheerios, oatmeal, okay? Wheaties, breakfast champions, Wheaties, okay? All of these things, bread, spaghetti, pancakes, waffles. There's another one, buckwheat, which doesn't contain gluten, but it does phagopyrines, F-A-G-O-pyrines, which are 10 times worse than gluten. So wheat, brown rye, oats, and buckwheat are out. You want to eat like an Asian, you hear me say this all the time, eat like an Asian, rice and sweet potatoes and beans. We do have the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. There's 300 pages of safe recipes, safe cooking methods, okay? And it lists all the good foods, bad foods, and why they're good and bad. So that's imperative, okay? And then, of course, we have, for very specific things, we have Black Gene Lies, the book that goes into so many of the diseases that are said to be genetic in the Black community because they tend to eat, they have a kind of a menu that comes down from the slave days, okay, that they're still eating those kind of basic foods and so forth. So they still get those diseases, but they're not genetic in the Black community. They're just their diet. And so you get them off all the bad foods, get them the 90 essential nutrients, and they all go, all these diseases go away. This is not difficult. And that's the advantage I had as being a pathologist, and I'm seeing everything on the autopsy table, and I could cut you open and look at your liver and your heart and your lungs, your intestines, your stomach. Well, he came in for a broken neck. What are you cutting him open? Well, he's here on the autopsy, okay. And so, the insurance company wanted a complete autopsy, so I'm going to give him a complete autopsy. I'm just not going to take an X-ray of his neck, okay. And then when I open up the small intestines, there's no villi there because he's been eating oatmeal for breakfast every morning and buckwheat pancakes once a week and that kind of stuff, and spaghetti every lunch and pizza crust. And well, that's why we have gluten-free pizza crust, okay. You don't have to give up pizza. I mean, I eat pizza maybe 2-3 days a week, once at lunch and once at dinner time kind of thing, maybe 2-3 times a week. And so I like pizza, but I have to eat it where the pizza crust is made from cauliflower, not from wheat or barley or rye or oats or buckwheat, okay? So I hope that answers that question.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much. And AJ, you have a question for Dr. Wallach. Go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Can you hear me?
Sir. Yes, sir.
So Margaret's husband, Eddie, is 80 years old, and he's 5'10", 250 pounds. And he has just found out he has a cyst on his spleen. And we're trying to identify what he can do to help remove this cyst. He's not yet on any longevity products.
Okay, do we know if the cyst is 1 millimeter in diameter, 2 inches in diameter, or 2 feet in diameter? How big is the cyst?
Margaret, do we know how big the cyst is?
They just got a small cyst.
He doesn't have, they don't have any size of the cyst yet, Doc.
I heard it's a small cyst.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a small cyst would be something that they say be the size of a grape, maybe, or a pea. Okay, and they may have found that just on an annual physical. Didn't sound like he had any small cyst, a millimeter or 2 millimeters in diameter, or maybe even an inch in diameter. It's not going to cause any symptoms unless it's cutting off the bile duct from the gallbladder or something like that. Location. But if it's a small cyst like that, And it's benign. They can tell from an MRI. It's non-radiation, not painful. Insurance will pay for it. Okay. And so they can just see where the location of the cyst is. And, you know, get them on anyways, 100 and
250 pounds, sir.
250 pounds. I'd have him take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full dose twice a day. I'd have him take 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, and dinner time to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. And then I also wanted to take the collagen peptides, take a scoop of that twice a day, each scoop with his morning drink and with his evening drink. Okay. And then I would also, let's see here, have him use for energy. He can use our Rebound. And let's see here, wouldn't hurt for him to use our I-26. He can go ahead and take, you know, 3 of those tablets, which are the soft gel, and not soft gel, soft chews. Okay, I like those a day. But also, he also needs to take our ultimate enzymes. We call it the gallbladder in a bottle, the ultimate enzymes. You can go ahead and take 2 or 3 of those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal. And then if he wants to, they can get a hair analysis, get my book, Rare Earths, okay, chapter 1011, page 272, tells you how to collect the hair, where to ship it, and we'll find out if he has any toxic minerals, if he has any deficiencies in nutritional minerals. And so these are all the things he can do. But, you know, a small cyst the size of a grape, or the size of even, if he's a big fellow like this, you know, he could have a cyst the size of a walnut. Okay. And it's benign. Okay. It has nothing to do with anything. Maybe had a little gallstone blocking a duct or something in there. Okay. It's not worth the guy his age, in his 80s, to do surgery for that. So let's do an MRI on that and get some more information. Okay. I'd like to hear more information.
Thank you.
That'll get him going. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Thank you, AJ.
All right. Thank you, AJ and Dr. Wallach. It is time for you to be going on to your next program. So we just want to thank you
Now,
on
do you have
behalf
to ask
of.
a question. Do you have to do anything to my equipment here?
I am going to take care of it, Dr. Wallach.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're
I'm going to
care
take care of it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Daily with Doc. We just want to thank you again for being here with us and being part of an amazing opportunity to be able to arm yourself with tools in the toolbox that allows you to give your body what it needs. Doesn't that just make sense? Like a recipe. You can't have it rise if you don't have the eggs, or have the right consistency if you don't add the melted butter. Everything works together, folks. And our body is complex, but health is not complicated. It's actually pretty simple. So get back with the person that shared this program with you, and make sure you tell them thank you for giving you information and investing their time to tell you about this program here on Daily with Doc. I just want to do a huge shout out and a thank you to my co-hosts that I have on with me today. So we have AJ, who's also going back and forth between the phones and YouTube and making sure that we get connected as the assistant executive production manager. And we have Ruth Ellen, who is the production manager, who is overseeing everything, again, making sure everything stays connected, making sure that people are being compliant and lets me know and takes notes. So if I have to edit anything, you know, she's got my back there. So I just want to say thank you, Ruth Ellen. And the same goes for Marilyn and Sherry and Phyllis, and Sherry letting everybody in, watching cameras, making sure everybody's on their best behavior. Marilyn and Phyllis both writing in the chat. Folks, if you're not able to take fast notes and not able to follow Dr. Wallach quickly, join us Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50, because between these two ladies, Marilyn and Phyllis, you can see everything that Dr. Wallach is talking about in the notes. Now, our notes are not savable, but if you are here with us, you'll be able to see them, and you will also be able to take a snapshot or a screenshot of the information that is being typed so that you too can take it to the person that you work with and say, okay, this is what I need. So fantastic information that was shared today that is affecting millions and millions of people. Share it with somebody. My name is Becca Dukes, and I just want to thank you for taking time for yourself and spending it with us. Until next time, bye for now. Zach, those are fabulous results. Good job, buddy.